of solemnity to step.
All right, welcome everybody to the revival of the Copywriting Clinic. Not everybody here may be familiar with the Copywriting Clinic. This is something Agnieszka and I started doing, what, season 3? Was it, I think it's season 3. Yeah, we saw a need, saw people trying to learn copywriting. You know, you'll, especially for new students, later on in the autonomy course, there will be a lecture on copywriting, but this is just, I mean, as much as, you know, Richard goes all out and he goes for however many hours, there's only so much that you can really pack into that time. And so there was still a lot of questions, still a lot of techniques and tips to be learned and shared. And so we just kind of saw this opportunity to, you know, get together, engage with each other, and then just learn different kinds of copywriting and also provide feedback to each other. Lots of people are going to be creating your own projects. You're going to be starting, you know, some of you are going to be starting businesses. You're starting to market your products. You may be building courses, and all of these things require copywriting to be able to get your message out there in front of the right people. So this is what we attempt to do in the Copywriting Clinic, is give you an opportunity to bring what you're working on and get real-time feedback. And then we can have discussions and let it free flow. This is definitely going to be a pretty casual revival. I don't really have like a set scheduled game plan for how this is going to go. I want to kind of go with the flow today. A couple of things to keep in mind. I would like to, let's see, we don't have a huge group here today. I had this thought, I was like, oh my God, what if we end up with like 50 people in here and then having too many people all talking over each other. My thought was like, I'd like to, when it comes to giving feedback, I would like for those pitching in and giving feedback to have some copywriting experience under their belt, to make sure that we're giving really valuable feedback. And I'd like to just limit the engagement for the most part throughout these clinics to those that have some copywriting experience and or have potentially gone through the copywriting fundamentals course. And you might not even know about this course. It is a course that I built just not that long ago. We just kind of went through the beta season. It's still in development. So I am getting ready to offer it up again to season 6 students. Probably a little bit, just a little bit further. There's some revising. So I got some really great feedback from the beta version. So now I'm doing some revisions, redoing some videos, packing some more lessons in there. And then this is going to be available to students later on. I don't have a solid price point yet. I will let you know, but it is most definitely going to be affordable and accessible to all of you. So I'm really looking forward to the revamp of the Copywriting Clinic, getting the course out there. Next thing that I want to think about is, if you have something that you'd like us to take a look at today, please send me a private message in Discord. If you can't find me, you can send something in through Zoom, but a way so that I can get the file of something for us to look at. So parameters for things for us to look at, I mentioned in my post, to make sure that we're using our time wisely. We can't necessarily go through an entire like 5-page website or a huge landing page. We want to try and make sure that we're getting to as many people as possible and providing as much value as we can in the time allotted. So think about the specific piece that you are looking for feedback on. We can't likely also go through like a 500-word blog post. So if you have something that you're wanting us to take a look at, let's try and focus on one piece. Maybe it's the introduction to whatever you wrote. Maybe it's the call to action or the offer. But think about what specific piece of what you're bringing that we can offer feedback on. I'd like to, depending on how much we have to go through, we can try and limit how much time we take on each piece. That might be 10 minutes, might be 20 minutes, might be a half hour if we don't have as many things to look at. Don't really know. This is why I'm saying we're totally going to go with the flow on this today. Agnieszka, I'm rambling. Is there things you can think of that I might be glossing over for preparing us? Okay.
I think it's about just reconnecting with your essence, like understanding the essence of writing and bringing your writing closer to the thing that can be easily understood by everybody, but not by everybody, by your target audience, right? Because nothing is understood by everybody. So no matter what piece of writing you create or what you do, it's not for everybody. if you're writing for little old ladies, or if you're writing for 17-year-old boys, that writing has to be very different words, different vocabulary, the whole thing, different attitude, everything. So just reminding yourself that every piece of writing has one purpose, and every piece of writing is for one audience.
Yes. And I will mention, Agni, the fan seems to be blowing into your microphone a little bit.
All right, let me just check because I have some other settings here. Is this one better? No? Same.
Not really.
What about this one?
A little bit, maybe?
Yeah?
Think so? I think that's better. I don't want it to distract from your wisdom.
What about now?
That's much better. Thank you very much.
I'll just sweat more. All right. What else should we? I don't know. What do you guys have any questions about, like what the copywriting clinic can do for you, or how you can use the copywriting clinic best?
I'm a new season 6 student, and I was just interested in seeing what you guys are doing. I have an interest in writing. I just never have really done any. So I thought you guys might have some people who had some material to present, and I could come in and take a look at it. I was gonna be a silent lurker in the background.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Good to meet you, Rob.
Meet you too.
Cool.
I just wanted to say I'm so happy to have you guys together again, and this going off. I think I really felt like this was super helpful. I didn't consider myself a copywriter at all, and after going through a couple of these, I'm totally sold on it. I'm still not a copywriter, if you ask me, but I do see the tremendous value that you guys bring to the table. So I'm very excited about this.
Well, do you think, Agnieszka, would it be helpful? Oh, hi, Nelson. I want to say hi to somebody else.
Hey, just wanted to echo pretty much what Rob said. I'm a season 6 student. Never done any copywriting per se. Most of my writing has been technical writing, procedures, things like that. I've been told in the past that I'm a good writer, but just curious to lurk in the background here and see if I can glean any tidbits and things from your conversations. So thanks for doing this, and thanks for making it available to all of us.
Nelson, are you the one in Lafayette?
That's me. You coming to the Red Pill Expo?
Well, we plan to. There's a slight chance we won't be able to make it, but our plan B, if we don't, will be Lisa Manfredi's Lynn Ulbrich gig in Dallas. So I'm just letting you know, I'm in Greenville, Texas, about, in that area, not too far from you. Send me a private message and let's talk.
Cool. This is Chris, right?
Yeah, Chris McMillan.
Thank you for speaking up, because when you spoke up the other day, Sunday or whenever that was, I didn't see who was speaking to me, and I've been curious ever since.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, Agnieszka, maybe we should do just a really short, introduction to copywriting. Just super short overview on what copywriting is. What do you think?
I have a thought. Yeah. So when people are learning to draw, they try to draw the way they think the things actually look, but the things never look the way we think they look, right? So in order to draw something, you have to take it into little tiny pieces and take each line, and then you'll look like it's supposed to look, right? Take each piece and put them together. And with writing, it's kind of similar, whereas what a writer, a person who calls themselves a writer loves words, and they love big words. And often writers like to put all those words that they love in their writing. And sadly, that is not right. I mean, it is right if you're writing for yourself, or if you're writing a poetry, or if you're writing a novel that for people like you, intellectuals who like big words to read. Unfortunately, when it comes to writing for the public, we need to use the vocabulary that the public has. And that's where apps like Hemingway and Grammarly really come into play, because it keeps us from getting too fancy on ourselves. and it keeps us down to the ground. And Hemingway really, well, the Hemingway app, which is like a website, you just put your writing in there and it tells you all about what education level it's for and all of that. Most people are not stupid or uneducated, but because they're so busy and so overwhelmed with life, their ability to understand is sort of like grade 5 level. And not because they can't understand bigger words, but because they don't have the time to think. So they have to have some stuff presented to them in a very, very simple way, like a small child. And so if you remember these rules when writing for the public, so that means emails, websites, whatever, for the public, then yeah, that'll help.
Yeah,
Hang on, I
like
gotta
I have,
answer a message here.
sure. Like I kind of have a general rule of thumb where if I'm, say I'm reviewing my work, reviewing someone else's work, if there's a line, a sentence, headline, if I have to read it more than one time to understand what's being conveyed, then that sentence needs to be rewritten. That's for the most part, that's like my general rule of thumb. Now, the biggest, it really does come down to knowing your audience. So I kind of mentioned about this in the meet and greet. I kind of gave a little overview of the copywriting process, and I'm going to go ahead and review that here. Copywriting really is a process. As much as we'd love to just sit down and start writing, that's kind of the best way to shoot yourself in the foot. When copywriting, when you're trying to lead people to say yes, you're trying to get your message out to people and out to the right audience, which means speaking to them in a language that they understand, speaking to them with the words that are going on in their own head. And so you do that with research. So everything in the copywriting process starts with research. I mean, I would say research takes up at least half, if not 60–70% of the copywriting process. Researching your audience, diving into like review mining is a really great practice. And so I go through this a lot more in the copywriting course of going and reviewing comment threads, discussion forums, YouTube comments, like all these different threads of where real people out there are commenting on something related to what you're offering. So, you would search a specific keyword, you've got to start looking at different discussions, and I can spend hours and hours just diving into all of these, discussion forums to find out the type of language that people are using. Joanna Weeb of Copy Hackers calls it sticky copy, finding copy that like really sticks out, that's unusual, that's like, we're trying to compete with a lot these days in digital marketing. There's, we all know we're like swimming in this sea of information out there, and tons of things are constantly battling for your attention. So we have to find ways to speak to our target audience in a way that's going to like break through all of that noise, right? So that they can understand what you're saying, so they can get grabbed by it. So the first part of the copywriting process is research. Then it comes into planning. So before you actually start writing, you have to understand, you have to start planning what you want to say, not necessarily how you're going to say it. That comes in the next stage. The first stage is just understanding what you're going to write. So I call that wireframing. So that's coming up with like your outline of what are the messages that you want to say on a page, which it's a web page or an email, whatever it may be. First, planning in your head what you plan to say. Then phase 3 is the writing phase. And that's when you're actually going to start using all of that research, using all these things that you gleaned. I passed over surveys are a huge, wonderful way to get that kind of insights from your audience. Right now, we're working with Andrew Kaufman, and I just got done doing audience research for Andrew. And we also I got done building a survey that we're going to send out to his huge mailing list, which is a nice warm audience. Those are that's his target audience. And I have specific questions that we can get feedback on how different verbiage that we're going to use, different problems and challenges that they're facing, what kind of outcomes they're hoping to get. He's putting together a course on detoxing. So I have all of these questions related to their past experiences of detoxing, or what kind of obstacles have been in their way. We're going to give them a little incentive with a free download for them to take the survey. And that right there is going to be so much gold that we'll be able to literally take word for word some of their answers and put into our marketing messages. And that's how we're able to speak directly to what's going on in their minds. So after stage 3, the writing phase, then it's editing. And this is where I said, like going back, where I'm reading each and every line one by one. And that's where, like I said, one of my first questions is, does this make sense? do I have to read this sentence more than one time to understand what's being conveyed? I know Agnieszka, I know like a big practice of yours is like cutting things. That ends up a big part of the editing process, is just like chopping things that are not necessary in the copy. And then it's all about testing and optimizing from there. Everything, it comes, we test how things are performing. We're in the process of, with one of our clients right now, Anthony Summy, where we built landing page. We had a great lead magnet, opt-in, ads, all these things are performing well. Then we just figured out the bottleneck is the email sequence. So the emails aren't performing well. We're not getting conversions. So now we know exactly where in that funnel where we need to go back, do some work and start optimizing. And then the process starts all over again with research. So that's my five-step process on copywriting.
And for me, when I start writing, I usually just write what I feel like writing. Like at the beginning, I'll just write it out. And usually about this sentence 5 or 6 will be the key sentence. So once that sentence comes out of me, I take that sentence and move it to the beginning, because that's the sentence that really will grab the attention. But it doesn't come out of me as the first sentence. It comes out of me as I'm getting into the topic and I'm like, and this is the reason, da, 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 da. And then that's the sentence you put in the beginning to catch their attention.
Mm-hmm. I think most often when I'm doing editing for other clients, I have a clients that I will edit their landing page. So the trainer will send their draft of a landing page. And most of the time it ends up taking some great sentence that's buried right down at the bottom and moving it all the way up to the top, where that becomes your hook. That's what's going to grab the reader right off the bat.
Yeah, but it's almost like a crescendo. As you're writing about the topic, you're like, and this one more thing, and this one more thing, and this is the reason, and that's the crescendo that you want to be your hook.
Well, I do have a website for us to look at momentarily. I was going to see if there's any questions from anybody before we actually dive in and start providing some feedback.
Just to review the 5 steps again, it was research, wireframing, writing, editing, and then what was the last step?
Optimizing, testing and optimizing. Oh, and I see Stephanie says in newspapers, we call that don't bury the lead. Ah, love it. Yeah, Stephanie, we haven't officially met yet, I don't think. You have a background in journalism, right? If you're able.
Yes, I do. I worked in journalism for 6 years on and off for little community papers.
Nice. Cool.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now that I see your face, I think we have met, but more officially now.
Yeah, we met over at Joshua's house one time.
That's where it is. I met you in the reel.
At the Agora market that they had there too. Yeah.
Nice.
No wonder you couldn't place her. She's not from Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I've actually seen your face in real life. That's
different environment. Yep. Cool. Yeah, so I have a journalism degree, and there were 2 options when you were getting the degree, to go the public relations route, or to go the news editorial route, which is what I did, the news. So now I'm interested more in strengthening my muscles in terms of public relations and writing press releases. And this whole digital marketing, the language is completely different, but obviously there's going to be a lot of overlap in, how you write concisely and in an interesting way. So
Definitely.
Just kind of learning the lingo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's see. Michael, you said I needed to have a password to look at Lawrence's site, correct? Enter using
I think that was just to edit it if you wanted to edit it.
We can edit it in Google too, though.
Because this is what you sent me. This is all I have. Is this all that there is?
Not much to edit there.
I don't even.
What are we editing, Mike?
That's what he sent me. So I'll send you what he sent me.
Yeah, maybe that's what he means. When we log in, we can actually see the pages he's got in draft.
Because there's also this
That's
enter
why he
using
sent the
password. Oh. Well, while we're looking at that, I brought up the Hemingway app. So this is like a copywriter's best friend. This determines readability. And so this will tell you when certain sentences, like you can see down here, when something is read, that means the sentence is long, complicated, and just difficult to read. So when you get things that are, so like I've had in here where it's like, you know, grade 14 or postgraduate, and those are the kinds of things you want to avoid. I do have a couple of clients out there that that's kind of their whole thing is they're super academic. That's how they write, and their audience resonates with that. So again, it comes back to really knowing your audience, but general rule of thumb, especially when you're trying to go after cold traffic or warm traffic, like it's really important to make things easy for people to understand. And that's where this can be really, really helpful. And oftentimes it's as simple as just like breaking up a sentence. So like if you see a red highlight, let's change this, for example. It turns out red when you break up the sentence. So just as an example there. Okay, I see I have something in my chat. I don't want to put a password up where everybody can see it because that's just bad practice. Let me get in here quick.
I almost wanted to edit that Hemingway sentence for real. You know, because then the period would be after the word complicated, and then the second sentence would be dense, da, da, da.
We could. Can I do that?
I
Show
don't care.
how it works.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say, miss. You're the boss. See, if
See
you
a
see a red highlight, your sentence is dense and complicated, period. Then you're even that, take that, your readers might then get lost trying to follow its mayor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Try editing the sentence to remove the red. Boom.
boom. And now that if you see a red highlight, it's complicated, that's a good sentence.
Yes. So very, very good tool. It's a free tool. They have a desktop app that I think is like a $20 one-time purchase. On one of my previous computers, I had actually purchased the desktop app. Now I just use the free version.
I
in the
don't know
browser.
why you would purchase the desktop app if it's like the same online as it is on the desktop.
I don't know.
Like,
I know.
so you can do it in the jungle, maybe.
I guess. I don't know what my reasoning was, but I did it. No, I did it.
Well, yeah. No, but I just used it. And you know, you guys, if once I used it for like 6 months, it was so much easier to just do it in my head. Like I didn't even have to go to the website anymore. I could just see the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
So
having
this,
Hemingway.
so this is Lawrence's website. I do wish that he was here so he could give us more like background information on this website. So Freedom United Revolt. Let's just kind of take a browse.
I like that love backwards thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Ron Paul reference from his revolution.
Okay, so that's stock. So where's the actual content that he wants us to edit? And see, this is exactly like when a client comes to you with copywriting, right? Because we don't know exactly Lawrence's like his idea, like how he wants this company to be positioned, who is his target market, all of these questions we don't have. So we can't really make up copy from nothing because we don't have the relevant info.
Yeah, we don't have the vision. We don't know. Yeah, what's the greater purpose
mission
of this website? Vision and mission.
And what the goal is the goal to sell t-shirts, or is the goal to wake up people or to get them into revolt? Like, what is the goal? Because once we have the goal, we can write the copy.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little challenging.
I like that t-shirt though. I'm part of the control group. That's funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard to, there's not really any copy to give much feedback on. Definitely, you know, I do like, the images are great. This is like, you know, you're above the fold thing, and I still don't really know necessarily what it does, what the purpose is. So I feel like this would need some kind of a headline, something in here to tell us more of what's going on here.
The only thing I know is that this company sells t-shirts that are subversive.
Mm-hmm.
Subversive t-shirt company. But is that his goal? Or maybe it's I probably think it's a greater goal than that.
I would think so too. You know, it's like something like stickers is like, you know, is this intended to wake people up? Are you trying to go and like spread truth everywhere you go with these stickers?
Maybe it's awakening
purpose?
tools. Like you're waking, maybe it's targeted to the people who are already waking people up. Hey, Kara, you're waking people up already. Do you want some stickers and stuff to help you out on that mission? Because that way you can share stickers and stuff.
I heard somebody speak up. Do it again.
Oh no, that was just me. Hi, Kara. Hi, Agnieszka. I was just going to say, if the purpose of the website was to sell subversive t-shirts, I'm already sold and I don't need to know anymore. But that's me. That was
a good t-shirt.
A drop in the ocean.
Right.
Well, then there's other things to consider, you know, maybe by the time they land on the website, you know, like things like this, when it's products that are more visual oriented, yes, they're not going to need as much copy. Like this isn't going to need a whole slew of, you know, 15 paragraphs on this page to be able to, you know, express what's going on here. Definitely needs more than what it has. But you know, the visuals are going to do a lot of the job. However, then you think about how are people going to get here? You know, and so how are we going to find ways for them to make
and who
it
are
here?
these people? How old are they? You know what I mean? There's all these questions because we can't really write a sentence until we know stuff about the people that are landing here. But the girl with the t-shirt is cute and the t-shirt is cool and the whole thing.
They're great pictures.
Yeah, both the pictures are great.
Also, if there's anything relevant to the shirts, like are they manufactured in the US? Are they, you know, organic cotton? So yeah, if they fit in,
They're
or don't
polyester.
fit into the usual narrative, that could be relevant as well.
Oh, see, we were right. It is about giving you tools. You found a sentence.
I love it. Help us send a big FU to they, them, those, the powerless that shouldn't be, or whatever you want to call them, by spreading the love.
So yeah, this is enough to write copy on. Now we know many things. See, you guys, this is power of copywriting. We found one tiny sentence and we've shone so much light on this whole thing. Right? We know the purpose, we know the mission, we know the vision, and we know the customers, sort of.
Yeah, I also think I would suggest like having more of an about us presence through the website. Like a lot of the research I'm doing, because they like, you know, they're obviously into like making sales. And right now what I've been learning with sales is that a lot of people are more buying into like the purpose, the voice, the who is, as opposed to like just the product. They want to like represent the message. So like it's a really strong message, but a little bit more of like who is the about us, and kind of like, you know, because like the pictures are amazing, you know, but just to like improve sales and stuff like that, I know that's really big.
And about pages can be tricky. Because as much as, you know, so you think automatically when, say you're writing for your own website, you think the about me or the about us, and you automatically, you gravitate to the notion that this should be all about you. Ironically, it should actually still be about your reader. And this is where about pages can be really interesting. And I know Agni can speak a lot more to this as well, but the about pages, yeah, as much as you want to tell, yes, your story, your purpose about you, but you have to make it in a way that it's still about them.
Everything you write, every sentence you write, it's about them. Yesterday I was editing an email for a customer and the sentence was, we at the company are dedicated, da, 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 da. And I just took all that out and I said, this one company can help you with da, 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 da. And I just left their actual name just in a signature. I didn't even actually name the company until the last sentence, but it worked better that way because it was not a link like a landing page, it was a reply to for partnership. And I think that way it's much less salesy.
Yeah.
So I just took out all the references to the company until the last sentence of the email.
At the very least, tip for everybody, avoid starting your paragraphs with I or me or us. Like you have to find a way
my
to
course.
Yeah.
My course. It's just for me and I don't want anybody to buy it because this is all about me and my course.
Mm-hmm. So, it's thinking about outcomes. What are the people on the other side? What are the outcomes? What are the benefits that they're going to get from engaging with your offer? And that's how you want to frame things, is what it can do for them.
Well, and the reason you wrote the course, say somebody did create a course and it's their course, but it's not their course because the course belongs to the people they wrote it for, not to them. But a lot of people have this ego ownership over this. I created this. This is mine. And in reality, that's a sales killer.
Mm-hmm. It's an easy trap to fall into.
Huh?
It's an easy trap to fall into.
But if it's yours, it can't be mine. It's already yours. How can I buy it if it's yours? How can anybody buy it if it's already yours? It's already been sold. Somebody already bought it. There is no way to buy it. As soon as they see my course, my course, my course, they'll be like, oh, nice, good for you. That's the answer to my course. Good for you. It's not, oh, let me get my wallet. Because you don't want them to say good for you. You want them to say, hey, where's my wallet?
So how would we like to proceed with this particular thing we're looking at?
Cara, I'm curious what the Hemingway app would do to this sentence. If it go beyond red to like maroon or deep purple or something like that.
No, it would probably be just the medium one.
Yeah. Apparently it's a very simple, easily read sentence.
Oh, wow, they like it. Okay,
They
shows how
like
much I know.
Well, because see, it's got a subject. I told you this sentence has a lot of information in it.
Yeah.
It's got everything you need to know about the whole company. And I think that this sentence may be the hook that they need for the front page. And instead of help us, we could say, let's send a big FU, or yeah.
And what's interesting with this sentence, and this is good for us to kind of analyze here, because especially if you're coming from like, I don't know, a writer perspective, not necessarily a copywriter, but just from a writing perspective, you would look at this and be like, oh, that's a slobby sentence. But what this is doing is it's writing and speaking the way that we talk. This is a very natural sounding sentence. And this is kind of like the thing that actually people will resonate with a lot more, is speaking like you talk, especially with things like emails and email marketing. Best practice is to write the way that you speak, write the way as if you're speaking to a friend. Otherwise, it just gets too formal, gets too boring. It's just not fun to read.
I think this sentence should be right next to that Revolt logo they had on the front page with the backwards love. So when somebody reads spreading the love, they associate that with the Revolt part of that.
I think what we could
go
do
right here.
I would put it right on top of the guy with the McAfee t-shirt, like show him and then cover him with that, let's send a big fuck you or whatever. You know what I mean? Right over top of these pictures. Look at the picture for a second and then like a pop-up in, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that we have a big group of writers here. Why doesn't everybody come up with one sentence and we can write them all down on what Lawrence could say about this website? Like now we know, and we have all the questions answered with that one sentence. So we can write whatever.
That's a good idea. Write a sentence and then we can put them in the Zoom chat.
Yeah. So does everybody want to come up with one sentence? And it doesn't matter if they're saying the same sentence or if somebody else has already thought of that. You know, that's just a mind fuck. Don't go there. Just write whatever sentence comes to mind. Let's do that too, Kara.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm not saying all the sentences will be good, but we'll all together come up with stuff.
And that's part of the brainstorming process. Brainstorming is about quantity over quality. And the more ideas that you get out, like the more it's going to trigger new ones. And then eventually you're just going to like land on that gold.
While everybody's doing that, I noticed that James Jordan is in here. If we get a chance, he's got a website that I think is really exciting. I just happened to catch a couple of things that he's written, and I think it's really catchy. So I don't know if we have the time, but I did want to acknowledge James and the writing that he's doing. I think it would be interesting to see what you guys think about it.
Oh, I'm not opposed, and I am listening, even though I might be not participating as much as I should. I'm actually working on something else while I'm listening. But yeah, if y'all want to do that, I'm open to it.
All right, could I share what I wrote?
Yes.
Go for it.
All right, came out first with wear apparel that stimulates thought. And then I went dress to get attention. And then came up with walk the walk, wear the talk. And then I went be the change we all need to be. And then my last one, wear the change.
Nice.
That would be good for like the body of the website, just like these sentences that lead them down the garden path.
Would you mind putting those into the chat so that we can save them for Lawrence?
Yeah, sure thing, we'll do.
Can I offer a suggestion on that last tag, the where the change? Remove the word the and just make it where change. Because that way it's almost kind of a play on we are change.
Nice, love it.
Nice.
Nice.
There's some good ones in here. Words that can help you connect your heart to those around you. Dare to wear the truth. Make your worldview
I
known
like
to
that.
those around you. Poke the bear, screw the sheep. Helen, I love you. Spread your message. Be a walking billboard to wake people up in revolt. Love it. Let them know that you will not be controlled. Send a message. Start a revolution. I like that one too. That's really good.
Nice.
Your best tools to awaken friends, neighbors, and passersby.
I keep thinking about this guy that lives in Acapulco, Patrick, and he puts these don't wear masks stickers everywhere. And he's got a whole bunch of them, and then everywhere he goes, and he has a little bottle with a little brush, and he carries them in his bag, and everywhere we go, he's like, hang on a second, and there's a post, and he's like he literally does the wet glue thing, like the 19th century style. It's fucking hilarious, and it works because people seem to be reading them. But yeah, Bonneville is full of those stickers.
Oh man, Joshua Hale just bought a sticker printing machine. So he's going crazy. There's stickers everywhere. He's got so many. It's awesome.
But these are stickers, like he just prints them on paper and then he uses that wet glue like a poster guy would use. And then he sticks them to lampposts and stuff. See, Mike's nodding because he's seen this happen, which makes every adventure with that particular person a little bit longer because you have to wait for him to put stickers everywhere as he walks by. One more post.
So this is awesome. I feel like we're giving him a lot to work with to help get something started. I'd love to give Lawrence the opportunity to take some of these ideas and see what sparks from them. And then Lawrence, I hope you'll listen to this replay, and then you can, after you do a little bit more work on it, bring it back to a future clinic and let's see how it's progressed. Okay, let's take a look.
By the way, I love the evolution is yours for the wearing, but it's only like it's targeted for intellectuals. It's not targeted. It's not like the bottom whatever, but I love it.
All right. So how about a little bit of background here? What's the purpose of this website? Manufacturing reality.
Nice. Where the evolution see the change. Perfect.
Oh, we're on my website now, huh?
If that's fine with you.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right. So this is the question that I struggle with the most when it comes to the website, because it has become something more than what I had originally envisioned it to be. So its primary purpose right now, I would say, is a publishing platform that is independent of whatever you want to call it, the the machine of the commercial publishing system. So it's something that can't be censored by the mainstream, or at least not under the rules that they're currently operating under. It's a place where people can, and especially myself, since I'm the founder and primary creator, but it's a place where people can express what's on their minds and share it with others. It's a platform that can be used to connect people of like mind, to help create communities. As time has gone by, there are more and more possibilities that I see for this particular website. Right now, it's basically housing my writing and the blog that I'm publishing 5 days a week, which I have titled The Memory Hole. Because essentially what I'm doing is I'm scouring the independent media creators that I consider to be putting out the best information nowadays, consolidating it into a daily post, and then sending it out, to the subscribers and anybody else who happens to stumble across it or wants to find that kind of information. I realize this isn't the best explanation, not the most concise, and probably not the most informative, but it's also a work in progress.
Yeah. So one of the things is like hoping to grow a connection, gain some community. So does that mean that like other people would be able to come in here and post?
Yes, and I would absolutely love for other people to come in and post, because anybody who has run a blog full time before knows that there's a lot of work that goes into creating content on a daily basis.
I'll just mention that one of the things that I think caught my attention right off the bat was these very catchy, number one, that like the title block was very catchy, and then the kind of the description was also very clever and kind of humorous. And so as far as kind of collating information and news for a day, I think James has got something here. I really think he's got a talent. for kind of, taking a big day's worth of stuff and making it into something that's kind of humorous and, really kind of brings a fun flavor to digesting a lot of this bad news.
Yeah, I mean, just like looking at this, I'm already like, I am definitely, the content itself is definitely grabbing me. What I see missing from this page is like a clear message of what the purpose is of this website for somebody just landing here. Before they start getting into the content, because then they're kind of getting here, they're landing, and they're kind of wondering, all right, what am I supposed to do? What's the purpose of this website? And maybe that's, I know it's like an evolution, but start thinking about that. I know that, Agnieszka, I know you got some stuff in your head going right now about mission and vision.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
have at it.
see, I'm not sure because I kind of like with the way he has it is a hook, right? It's a fishing hook, right? So he just puts this, then the latest blog title, and the blog title is really, really catchy. And so for people that are into that particular thing, but in order to create more like ongoing connection with the reader, you might want to put a picture or two and maybe your face so they know who they're speaking to. And the one thing that they talk about is so that the front of the website reflects the audience, right? So what is the kind of imagery that you would want to put that would really reflect the people that are represented by, or that you're writing to, right? Yeah, I think I would like something on the right with your mug on it, and then like a little like, my mission is to awaken many people into whatever, blah, 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 right? And then as soon as I see your mission and it's in line with my values, I'm much more likely to read your articles. Because again, you're asking me a lot. You're asking me to like not see any visuals. You're asking me to just use language and not my eyesight, which is very difficult for people nowadays, right? But not necessarily for your audience, but I still would put some kind of imagery on there.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Okay. So instead of, and correct me if I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, but instead of essentially having the blog post leading when people first come to the website, actually have a more traditional landing page and then link off to the blog from there.
I kind of like that. Maybe just put something on the right that has an image and a little bit of a mission statement. Yeah, right there. And that way you can keep it the same without doing too much, but still have that kind of a comfort that comes from an image as opposed to just words on paper.
Okay.
Because you do have some really catchy, these are all really catchy.
And what if, I don't know if this is possible, because this is a list, right? Of all your blog posts. I would like to see some imagery in between somewhere, but I don't know if that may be not possible with your theme.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself. I'd have to dig into the theme a little bit more and see if it's capable of doing that.
But the other thing you could do is just do the most recent 5 and then do some kind of a vision mission statement underneath.
Okay.
Well, miss you, Helen. You're a wonderful person. I've missed you. Same.
All right. Yeah, I've only been working with this theme for maybe about a month and a half now. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what all it can and can't do. The page that
what theme is it?
That's a good question. I don't remember right off the top of my head, but I chose it because it was minimal and clean, and reminded me a lot of some of the other news-ish websites that I was familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that page that you're on right now is a total mess. I literally haven't touched it in weeks, if not months. Because that was originally
I like the
where
top
I was.
image.
I know
Thank
the
you.
image is really, really grabby.
Yeah, that was originally where I was putting all of the links, just to act as kind of like a, you know, a storage type of place for them, for as long as they stay alive, until I came up with the idea for, you know, kind of doing the daily blog post.
Oh, so you're doing these every day? That's
Not
impressive.
not every day, but about 5 days a week.
Nice.
Yeah, because
I
even
think-
I need to take a day off every now and then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you back it all up to, because like if you did content save, they would back up this and they could even back up the source website image or copy, so that way, even if that's taken down, you can still go back.
Yeah, I have no idea
Anyway,
how to
just
do
a
that.
thought. It's a
Like,
service.
Is it? Yeah, I'm learning stuff as I go. So I'm literally just like picking up bits and pieces along the way. I knew how to do none of this like 9 months ago.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
You know, my feeling as far as the catchiness of what he's putting out here, it seems to me like this could almost be like a something that other newsletters might use. Like he could collaborate with other newsletters and create some of that. This is some catchy content. in my opinion,
Definitely.
that I think a lot of other newsletter people might find useful.
Absolutely. So for providing value, is this for your audience to provide value? What's the goal of this one?
Yes. Yeah, because all of this is crowdsourced essentially. I don't feature any ad networks. I don't take any money from corporate sources. So it's all community supported.
I'm just exploring a little bit. Don't mind.
Oh, sure. Go for it. Not a whole lot there other than the blog. And I think most of the other pages I have managed to fix format wise since I moved from the old theme to the new theme. So hopefully it's all pleasing to the eye at this point, or at least mostly.
Nice. I'd like to find a way to, it's kind of what we were talking about before, of like starting your sentences with I, at least at the, especially at like the top of an about page. This is where that contradictory notion comes in, where even though it's about you, being able to make it about the reader as well. And I think you're close to it here.
What if you
already.
just switch the I and the you in this sentence? You are not that much different than I.
Or we're not that much different from each other or something. But yeah, just switching it up so that it doesn't start with I.
Okay.
There's a lot of I here, Jordan, or James. I mean, there's a lot of I's in there. See if you can bring the perspective more from the client's perspective. So like, I know this is your opinion and we all know that it's your opinion, but make it about them, right? Make it about us.
Yeah, even like adding in like the we kind of language in there can really help with that, bringing them into the fold. I think it's like the starting. It's not to say that you can't use I anywhere in a sentence. It's just where they're starting.
Michael, you had something to say? You're
I'm
muted,
heading
Michael.
out, but
Oh, there you are.
Oh, you're heading out?
yeah, I gotta go. Got another thing to get to, but really appreciate you guys. You guys are doing it awesome. Definitely see the value here.
And food is ready after your next meeting, or it's ready now. So, you know, just saying.
Cool. Okay.
So when y'all were on the front page and talking about having a tagline of some sort there, I went on a different device to look at this about page. and to see if I could pick a sentence or two out of here that might work as a tagline. And I didn't see it, but from a quick skim, what made an impression on me the most was these couple paragraphs here are almost all about what this is not rather than what it is. Like you're describing it in the apophatic sense. I don't know if that was intentional. If so, that's fine. It's just something that made an impression on me, and so I thought I would share it.
Thank you. That's a very good observation.
Interesting. Yeah, there was definitely some intention that was put into that that particular perception, because that's kind of always been how I have reasoned my way through things. Until very recently, I've always spent more time figuring out what I didn't want as opposed to what I did. So when I first set up the website, and I haven't really changed a whole lot on this page since then. I think I tweaked a few words here and there between the thematic change. But yeah, it was more about what I was seeing in the world that I didn't want the website to comprise. So yeah, that's very interesting that you picked up on that, Nelson.
Yeah, and I didn't mean that as a negative criticism necessarily. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mark Passio and his work on natural law, but the way he teaches natural law, it's much easier to describe it in the negative or the apophatic sense. So it's certainly a valuable tool if it's used with intent.
And I can see balancing this out really well. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for message balancing where, all right, you'll not find this. And you even end it like, I've got no time for that. But what you will find here is all the things that you're going to get, all the value you're going to get from this website. So I think that there's value in both sides.
And then the word will would be underlined and bolded like the word not.
Yes.
Just in the next paragraph.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
That's great.
And then the word will would be underlined and bolded in the next paragraph. Will, and then I would make the stamp a little bit smaller. So it's not full width. It's just, I don't know. I just think it would look better if it was slightly smaller.
It does dominate a little bit here, in which might have even been an intention, but I could see that too, making it smaller.
It's too wide. It's bigger than life.
Or maybe I could even do, I can't remember what the term is right off the top of my head, but where you have like the so you would have like the sticker on, say, like the left of the column, and then, all of the what you will find here kind of laid out beside it.
Yeah, like the image would be in the text block as opposed to separate on the outside of the text block.
Right.
Have you, you've got all these blog posts. Have you written a blog post related to autonomy on your site?
I haven't yet. But it is on the list. I'm probably just procrastinating on it more than I should be. But I have a lot going on, so.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And eventually that'll be a really great affiliate opportunity. Is you can someone just like landing here, they don't know anything about autonomy, and then they see this stamp and they're like, what is this? Where does this have a place on this website? What is this thing? I don't understand. Could easily link to a blog post about autonomy, which then also has your affiliate link on it.
Or directly to the obstacle course.
That's true. That's true.
Could just the stamp could read directly, take your affiliate link to the obstacle course and put it on the stamp so that they directly land on the landing page for the obstacle course. Because that way you have all the wisdom of everybody who thought about the obstacle course selling for you.
I keep going back and forth on this being like the actual URL and not being just manufacturing space reality as your headline, your header up here. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that, or if there was more intentional.
I'm still
No.
going back and forth on the image versus no image in the header.
Yeah.
Because I really like the way it is, nice, white and clean right now. But the human brain's looking for an anchor. It's looking for an anchor and it's not finding it, right? What's it gonna do? Is it gonna run away because it doesn't find an anchor?
Yeah.
What if the word reality was a different color?
Ooh. That could be good. Yeah.
Like just that the way it is, but just the word reality in like a color, like red or blue or something.
It's an idea.
Sorry, I'm eating my watermelon, but I'm really hungry.
Sure.
It's been a very busy day.
No problem. I feel you. I'm going to be getting some lunch after this as well.
I haven't even had breakfast. It's already 2:30. I was gonna cook and then Mark came over and we were talking about business for 2 hours and then back to meetings. So.
Well, is there
Yeah.
more we want to dig into here, or is there something else we'd like? Oh, there's been chats going on in here. There's
Yeah,
stuff going
Phoenix
on in the
Aurora
chat.
has some really cool stuff to say.
Nice. Ah, he's making some tips, I think, based on the about page.
Who is Phoenix Aurora? Have I met this person? Is it a boy or a girl?
Hey, what's up, Phoenix? Where is he? Is he?
It's a boy. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I didn't know. It could have easily
Wow.
been a girl, I suppose.
He might not be able to
Hi.
jump in at the
Nice to
moment.
see your face.
Hi guys. Likewise.
Hi.
I've got really, really bad internet lately, last like week or so. Since I've been out west, so it's easier without like transmitting, easier for chat.
Totally. Totally.
Nice to meet you. I love all your comments and sentences and stuff. That's really good.
Glad to be able to help.
Nice.
Red for red pills is true.
But with that word, like reality, I don't think you necessarily want to evoke a sense of danger and urgency when it comes to reality, unless, I mean, maybe you do. Like, is there that? I mean, there could be that sense of urgency to what's going on in reality. I mean, in some like pseudo.
But also
like,
reality is blood, right? And the whole vaccinated blood thing and all of that. That's also another aspect of it. All I was thinking about is like a visual breaking up of that top thing, not necessarily like, yeah, the color should be symbolic, but not necessarily red for any specific reason. It's just so that it like pops.
I mean, if it was like baby blue, it would evoke a sense of calmingness. I mean, at least that's.
But I was just thinking, just the word reality. The other two words stay black and white the way they are. Just
Yeah,
to break it
blue
up.
is good for putting an audience into a more receptive mode. Then I also thought of green, which is a balanced color, especially for the
you don't
word
have to
reality.
help green. You don't have to do anything with green. Green is fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, green is good for clicking and stuff, but I think that in manufacturing reality, I don't know. I think it is about urgency though, right, James? It's about like saving the world.
Well, yes, obviously. But it's also, so the one thing that I have pretty much been able to nail down in terms of my audience and the people who are likely to visit the website repeatedly, it's not going to be the rank and file normie. It's going to be somebody who has already dipped their toe
And an intellectual.
into things. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not going to be that I'm the one, literally pulling the people out of the cave. They've already started to find their way out of the cave, and they're just looking for essentially guideposts to lead them in the right direction. That's kind of the role that I see this facilitating for the audience. Because I mean, the whole reason that I started doing it in the first place was there wasn't really like a single place that I was able to go to where, you know, when I started looking at things critically, that I could say, okay, you know, this guy is pulling all of this different information together, and all of these sources seem to be legit, and they all seem to be pointing to the same things. Now, eventually I did stumble upon Rich, and I think Rich is one of those people doing that type of work. But yeah, this is literally to fulfill that void that I encountered when I first started looking into things.
And I think that, yeah, I mean, depending on what kind of feeling you would want people to have when they land here, and exactly like going with something like blue, if you want them to feel like at ease and comfortable to explore, leaning in the direction of red for something more urgent. I'm kind of leaning into the blue, dependent just based off what you're saying.
Well, it's funny because the previous theme did actually allow me to set a background color, and the color that I chose was a very deep blue. It's actually color number 33 that I was using.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Otherwise, I agree that I do like the cleanness of, you know, the white background, and yeah, it's very clean, and it makes things like this, like makes your buttons pop, like all this stuff where there is color, it really, really pops.
Yeah, and if you actually open one of the blog posts, there's a lot more visually going on in an individual post than you know what you might immediately suspect just from looking at the homepage.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of visuals within here.
I totally thought I was banned on Facebook again when it went down.
James, you got a new subscriber.
Nice.
Awesome.
I like it.
Oh, that's a great picture.
Do you make those pictures?
No, no, those are,
sorry.
most of those are embeds. Yeah, I do very little graphic design myself, only because I don't know how to do it. I'm learning.
I admittedly, when it comes to the design aspect, I outsource that stuff. Words are my thing, but
speaking of outsourcing, I would like to trade some skills with somebody who could help me do a halo strategy for my new project, and I could help with copywriting and or graphics a little.
Oh man, I should almost do a trade with you. My website still hasn't really been updated since we like tore it apart at the copywriting clinic like a long time ago.
But do you really need it? What's it doing for you?
It's
You couldn't
not
take
really
on a
doing,
client if you wanted to.
It's not really doing much of anything right now. As I get the copywriting course like ready for the public, it'll have my website will have more of a purpose, but yeah, right now it's just kind of there. Well, is there more we would like to explore here? James, is there more that you would like to get feedback on within this website anywhere?
I mean, I already have like a half a page of notes, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna like carve out the time to try and address some of the suggestions, some of the excellent suggestions everybody made. But I mean, that's up to you guys.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like us to look at?
I have something if y'all have some time.
Yeah.
I have never screen shared ever.
Congratulations.
So yeah, let me
Welcome
see.
to the post-COVID world.
Yeah, exactly. Start share.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Might say something about permissions, no?
Oh, I got to that early on. There should be permission. Okay.
Nice.
So okay, so that should be working, right?
Yeah.
Ah, I know what this is.
So yeah, I didn't know if I should bring it up to the group
That's
or if
great.
you're already working on it.
You took his head off.
No, this is, I'm glad that you did.
Okay. Okay, good. So, and actually, when I sent it off to you, I noticed later, I reopened what I had sent, and this part wasn't in red, and it was supposed to be as a suggestion to cut. So I didn't know if you'd want to cut this part or not. So basically, what this is it's a lead magnet, right?
Right. This is going to be turn into a lead magnet for Howard Lichtman's, and Howard is currently writing the 5th edition of his book, Government, the Biggest Scam in History. I think it's, his government book. And so Stephanie has been working on kind of dialing everything in to create a lead magnet to get people into the funnel. And I did take a glance at this, and I think that the overall structure, especially when we get down into like the 5 ways that government, I would say government is a cult. I know Howard is going to want to take out the like, right?
He did. He suggested an alternate title. 5 classic textbook cult techniques that government uses to control you, something like that.
Ah,
Nice. That's good.
that's good. So I'd like to focus on the intro, the introduction to this document.
Okay.
That's
up
where
here.
I think I'd like, that's where I think I'd like to focus on. Because I think when I did not get to read through this in detail, I like opened it up, I read part of it, and then I skimmed the rest of the pieces. And I noticed what I thought was missing most was like some kind of a hook, a way to hook them in and really grab your readers. Powerful industries and families.
What even team are you? No matter what, red scores. Took his head off.
Just reading really quick.
I finally scored. After 1 million
See,
pages.
So one piece of feedback I have,
1 million.
Stephanie, when you said that this book lays out the connections, something that's laid out is not an action thing, right? It's put to sleep, it's laid. So let's try to find a more drawing.
So
word.
something like explores or explains.
Exposes.
Yeah. Exposes is a good one because then that makes me curious. It leaves me curious, right? But it's just these stupid little like annotations, right? Like there was nothing wrong with your sentence colloquially, but when you're talking about subconscious things, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's much better.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's think about the people that are going to be landing.
Oh,
and
wait.
Yeah.
Can we take out connections between these?
Bruh, make a flipping black outline.
And instead of sheds light, how about illuminates?
Said that, Nelson.
Nice.
What's that?
I was asking
that
who
was-
said that.
That was Nelson.
The black outline, not a red.
We got some great people in this group. This is
And
awesome.
I don't like Dave employed for centuries. We need to make that a lot shorter. Illuminates the abusive methods. I want to say something like they habitually use or they favor. They favor, maybe. Don't take out the abusive methods. We want the abusive methods there.
And then this is in red because this is a term he uses a lot that he's kind of coined. Instead of a conspiracy theory, he says what's really going on is organized crime theory. And, you know, he says intergenerational organized crime. That's what government is. Intergenerational organized crime. He uses that a lot. So I just didn't know if that belonged in this intro or not.
Maybe. I think that maybe belongs in another sentence.
Maybe it could be up here, as Kara was saying, something as a catchy lead at the beginning, like your government is actually an intergenerational organized crime unit, or not unit, but I don't know.
So, well, and so I think you're on a good track, but what I want to say is thinking about a hook. So the hook is like thinking of people that are landing here. And when we're thinking about the ideal targets of those landing here, they're going to be people that they have this feeling that something's not right. They feel like there's something wrong out there, but they don't know what it is yet. They have the suspicions, they have an inkling, but they just haven't quite gotten all the information yet. So how can we use that as a way to hook them in? And even it could be something as simple, and I'd love to hear some variations from people, but along the lines of like asking that questions of like, something does not feel right right now. I mean, something better than that, but along those lines.
Did you ever get the feeling that you're in a cult?
What about that? What about what I wrote?
What did you put in the chat? What intergenerational organized crime organization controls every aspect of your life?
Get it together.
Something along those lines? Or do you know that there is that controls?
I'd start maybe like with a did you know, something.
Did you know? Yeah.
So like, did you know you're in a cult, or did you know?
You're in a dream, Neo. Did you know that the, no, see, I don't know about did you know?
Something about, because what I think of in a cult is abusers. Like, it just, like your government is your abuser. I don't know, something that.
Yeah, but see, so that's the reason why I wrote that sentence. What intergenerational organized crime organization controls every aspect of your life? And I'm not really married to the what part of that sentence, but
okay, so
did you know? But then did you know? Then we have to explain it too much, right? Like
that's true.
Yeah. The succinctity.
Like what I want to touch on, is just that, like that feeling of just something's not right. Something doesn't feel right. And how can we,
let's just write that.
How can we touch on that?
Something's not right. You know, something's not right. Did you know?
Like,
Oops.
You know something is right, possibly because there's an intergenerational organized crime organization that controls every aspect of your life.
Nice. Yeah. I can hear somebody saying that to me. Like that sounds. I'm ironing a perler bead project here, so I'm still listening. Just looking for the little piece of paper that has to go on top of it. Okay, got it. You know something's not right. Did you put that in the chat, Agnieszka?
Oh.
I liked that sentence you just used, yeah.
Wait,
Need
what
a
did I
producer
say?
to replay the recording.
We're gonna have to go back on the recording.
Did you know? Oh shoot!
No, but that's already written, right? Stephanie goes, you know something's not right. Period.
And then it's pot. Wait,
because there's.
I think you said, did you know intergenerational organized crime controls every aspect of your life?
Well, it
Oh,
was the
you
same
know
bit that
something's
I
not
said.
right. Maybe it's because.
Maybe it's because there is
Yeah,
an
that's what it was.
intergenerational blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, then maybe it's because, yeah.
And then powerful industries and families would be next, but that needs to be changed a little.
Intergenerational.
Organizations. Maybe it's because intergenerational organized crime controls every aspect of your life.
Do you want to call it an organized crime family instead of an organization?
No, because families comes in the next sentence. So we don't want to put too
there you
many
go.
concepts in one. Because the next sentence is powerful industries and families. And I don't think have robbed, because that's talking about in the past. I would say something like are robbing society and controlling every aspect of our lives. You know what I mean?
So I had something in an earlier draft with, and I had to laugh earlier when you were talking, Agnieszka, about all the words we use. And then after like 5 paragraphs, for me, it's 5 paragraphs. Maybe you said sentences. You find what you're writing. But anyway, I had a lot more and cut it. But I had something at the beginning about how, what is it about government that allows it to look like this paternal beneficent provider while behind the scenes enriching a select few or something like that. It didn't say enriching, but
I like it. I like it. And then you can put the image of a wolf in sheep's clothing right there.
Oh yeah.
Like saying government tends to be a benevolent paternal organization when in reality they're fucking us up the ass. But don't say it that way. Use something else.
Right. Okay. I was gonna. No, but I was thinking maybe that could go as this part of the sentence. Maybe it's because intergenerational organized crime is masquerading as a. That's gonna get too long.
Oh yeah. As is masquerading as a benevolent paternal figure to humanity. I like that. Although those are 2 big words, so we would have
I know.
to. Look what you did. A benevolent paternal figure.
Yeah.
But these people are also intellectuals, so we
That's
can,
what I was
have
just
a little bit
thinking.
more leeway with the
Yeah.
words. We don't have to go all the way down to grade 5. We can like go to grade 11 and still be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
What? Did you just?
There's some good stuff coming in the chat
Oh, I
too.
ordered 199 pizzas.
Okay, I can't
People
seem
are
to
on
get
fire.
to the chat now.
Oh, at the bottom of the screen. Are you on your phone or computer? Computer, right?
I'm on my computer and it was at the bottom of the screen before I started screen sharing and now I don't know where it is. More, maybe? The dots? There's chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mama ordered 1 trillion pizzas. That'll be $1 trillion. Yeah.
I know you're not really ordering 1 trillion pizzas, by the way.
Yeah, I am.
He likes to be a prankster. That's my son.
Saw the hang-up.
News flash.
No, stop.
I like that. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
It's like so cocky.
Why do you kick me in private?
You all right?
Yes.
Okay. You still making an Enderman?
No, I didn't make it.
It's not petty thieves and street gangs or even terrorists that are destroying freedom. It's the cult evil government. I like that, Chris.
Yeah.
Another aspect of morality seems to be inverted. And I like this,
So,
this too.
Stephanie, can you go back to robbing and controlling? Can we make it in present tense or have been robbing and controlling or are robbing and controlling somehow?
Yeah, I think I had that earlier too, actually.
Have been, let's do have been.
Yeah. Nice.
There's, yeah, because it's not, they haven't done it. They're doing it.
Have been, yeah. I think I shortened it up trying to make it not so long. I tend to get too wordy. but I think
Mhm.
that's how I had it. And that does feel right. That feels better.
Yeah. And then to understand, that's passive. So when you're going to understand, that's not something I want to do. I don't want to do to understand, but I might want to understand. But just the way it's a passive sentence, it just does not pull me. Right.
And it gets too wordy. It's like, in order to blah, 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 always ends up too wordy.
Find out who they are and how they do it. Find out. I'm telling you what to do now. Right. It's not passive to understand. Find out, Stephanie. Find out. It's your responsibility to fucking find out because you have children.
I know. What is up with all these incurious, ignoramus? I don't know. People just
the
don't
government
have
will take care of
questions.
it. If the children didn't learn it in school, it doesn't need to be taught.
Yeah, they're just doing what they were trained to do.
And if the
Change it
government
to
doesn't
find
provide
out.
it, you don't need it.
That's right. Change it to find out before you forget, to understand, because that's really not serving you there.
Find out who they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we do with the rest of the sentence then? Find out who they are and how they do it.
In,
just period?
No, in
Oh.
government, period.
Yeah, and how they do it in government, the biggest scam in history exposed.
Period.
Should I use his
Etienne,
name? Author's
Etienne
name?
de la Boitie.
Exposed
Yeah.
is repeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exposes these international thugs and illuminates the abusive methods they favor.
Now we're starting to repeat
Should be
words. There's a
treatments.
because we just say government, the biggest scam in history exposed. So maybe he's revealing. He reveals these international thugs.
And we need to have 3 things that he does. So it doesn't matter what he does, he needs to do 3 things. So he reveals international thugs, he illuminates the abusive methods they favor, and something else.
And he provides solutions.
And provides practical.
But you know what also
solutions.
he does, yeah. I was gonna say another thing he does is that the book is laid out in such an easy to digest manner. It's a picture book and it's got a lot of just like one page,
That's your next
really
sentence.
concise.
That's your next sentence. Write it down. The book is laid out in such an easy to follow manner. It's like a picture book. Super easy to understand, even the most complex, whatever. I mean, you might have to clean up the wording on that, but.
Right. Okay.
And Nelson pointed out before we move on that up at the top, generations is repeated. So we first say because it's an intergenerational. So then the next one down, under the guise of government for centuries instead of generations.
Okay.
Good catch.
Yeah, we had centuries below, but we removed it. So now it's perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what should we do about this? Or we could just leave it like this. We don't need to have, because, okay, so my main reason in wanting to add
What about,
something.
what if you
What's
just put while masquerading as a benevolent?
While masquerading as your,
as a benevolent paternal figure.
but I want to put government in there because it just, this doesn't mention.
Oh, as your government. Oh, okay, yeah.
Or should we
Yeah.
wait because it says it here? It's coming up soon.
Yeah, so benevolent paternal figure there, and then you have government. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure. I don't like how that ends.
So what about as your benevolent caretaker or protector or whatever?
I tend to get too wordy, and now I'm thinking this is too wordy. I don't know.
Kill it at protector or provider, either way.
That is what abusers do. They like,
Yeah.
look like you're a protector. You know something's not right. Maybe it's because intergenerational organized crime controls every aspect of your life while masquerading as your benevolent protector. Powerful industries and families have been robbing and controlling society under the guise of government for centuries. Find out who they are and how they do it in Government, the Biggest Scam in History, exposed. Etienne de la Boetie Squared reveals these international thugs, illuminates the abusive methods they favor, and provides practical solutions. The book is laid out.
You might want to remove.
But the thing
the
is,
space.
now we're going into like selling the book. But this intro is actually just meant to get people to click on the lead magnet, which is not the book for the book. It's for this one pager.
Yeah, the book lays it out. They take this taste test or whatever.
True. Yes. Okay.
Because we are actually selling the book anyway.
Right.
And I don't think there's a space between Boetie and 2 because the 2 is supposed to be like to the second power.
Yeah, I don't know how to make that in my computer. I'm trying to hold down the 2 and see what happens, but I know there's a button you can push.
It's somewhere. I'm actually certified in this. There's a button under font. Oh, right there, the X with the 2 above.
Oh.
So click the X with the 2 above underneath. Yeah. No, lower. Oh, you're going.
Oh, don't go to font.
No. See where the font section right there on your screen where it says Calibri and 12.
Okay.
And there's the X right below, lower.
There.
Yeah, this one. And now press 2.
Got it.
There you go.
Ah, I learned something new there too.
I am certified in Microsoft, so if I didn't know this, that would be pretty embarrassing.
Thank you, Agnieszka. That's helpful. It's kind of weird that they would have such an obscure need right there on the toolbar, because how often do people put an exponent in their writing book?
Mathematicians do it all the time.
It's true.
Yeah.
And physicians and biologists.
I guess they use Word just as much as the rest of us. Okay, 5 ways. Government is like a cult, or whatever he wants it to be, which I think is getting to be a very long title. Summarizes a few of these common threads, providing suggestions on how to move forward in liberty despite them.
I don't know, that despite them doesn't work. Just forward in liberty.
We don't need any of that.
Oh, okay.
because the common threads that it summarizes are already described up here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to talk about the book and how it's laid out in the digestible format. I think you're right on that. It's not necessary here. And the lead magnet is going to lead them into getting more email marketing from us. And there we can go into more detail on the value of how the book presents things. But even with this lead magnet, they're going to get a lot of visuals within this once it gets designed. So it's kind of, that's going to play a part already.
Okay. So where was that title that he suggested? Oh, right here. And I don't, so he was talking on a Zoom yesterday about how, and you called it, Kara, he was like a cult, like instantly, as soon as he saw it. And I was like, okay, here we go. Because I knew it too. That I was like, well, shouldn't we ease them in, like the readers? And I don't even think he heard me. He was just like, the government, it follows, it's like a textbook. And I couldn't tell if he was talking about there's actually this list of like 20 strategies, that classic textbook strategies that cults use. And I don't know if he has like a list of these strategies, which would kind of help me to write this if he does.
Not sure. We could ask him.
I mean, is there a cult textbook?
There's,
yeah,
I'll chime in
absolutely.
real quick.
Okay.
There's not a textbook, but there is an understood pattern that most cults use from a psychological standpoint in order to indoctrinate their people and keep them as part of the group. Give me a few minutes and I'll see if I can find a link for you. And if I can, I'll drop it in the chat.
I'm sure there are
Right.
many textbooks on cults, but yeah.
So
This
I went
is-
and I did some research on cults and was trying to find something exactly like that a couple days ago. Was that James speaking? Yeah, thank you. So thank you for that. That's awesome. So should I cut this out, I guess is my next question. It's red stuff here.
That's so funny. My boyfriend hates the word culture. He thinks it's evil. And the way you have it laid out here, I'm like, oh, that's what he means?
Well, yeah, and I'll show you. This is how, I'll just call him Howard because de la Boetie sounds weird. This is how he writes it. He puts this little hyphen right here in his book.
I mean, you could
bold
the cult part of the word. That's another way that you could do that.
And the reason this is in bold is because I don't like that word.
Just what about simply?
Well, I mean, either one. I just always wonder if you're writing the word just or simply, does it even need to be there?
It doesn't.
No.
Unless you wanna make it sound like it's only the illusion. It's nothing but illusion, nothing more than an illusion. Maybe that's what we should write. Nothing more.
Nothing but a powerful illusion perpetuated by a system of power and control.
That's the only reason you would write just.
Yep, that's more precise to put it that way. Thank you.
I love that sentence now.
Yeah, that's good.
So I guess we'll leave that in then since we like it.
That's funny. My boyfriend knows Howard too. Maybe that's where he's got it from.
Maybe.
Okay, baby. I didn't mean to touch you. Oh my God. I touched my dog with my foot.
Your boyfriend's met Howard?
Yeah.
That's funny. I have a friend who met him and went to some beach parties in Santa Cruz when the beaches were closed. And that's how I originally heard about him. She just came home and called me and was raving about this guy with this French name. And then I looked him up and saw some of his material on podcasts.
Remember about the creek book?
You want me to iron it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your other one's already ironed.
Yes, I know. I got it all.
Oh, you have another project. Okay. So if we read this without the red, is it better? And I don't know why we would need to cut it.
I think
just always feel like I
misses-
need to cut.
I think it's missing something at the beginning, a couple words.
Okay, I think I'm getting, I don't like the, I don't know, just the dryness of like, they include,
Yeah.
could almost start with like monopolized media, carefully curated social pressure, and cradle to grave indoctrination.
She said
all
without
play a
the
role.
red, right?
What?
I thought she said without the red.
No, they're flying and they come
Well,
down.
Oh, you're
I mean,
You see them coming down?
I was
That
wondering
means
if we
they're
should
coming
keep that
down
red
to-
sentence. I do like it. But if we're gonna keep it, then yeah, let's make it better.
I think that the whole thing needs to get moved somewhere else, and this whole thing should start with culture, as it turns out, is nothing but a powerful illusion perpetuated by a system of power and control. That should be the first sentence there.
Nice. I like
And then
that.
as it turns out, not it turns out.
Okay, I'll put this down here so I don't lose it. Culture, as it turns out, is nothing but a powerful illusion.
You stole your quotation mark at the beginning of culture.
Yes, I did.
You lost it.
I'm trying to iron here.
Too multitasking.
Yeah. Luckily, the kids are being
Culture,
quiet.
as it turns out. Yeah, see, 5 ways the government is like a cow. Culture, as it turns out, is nothing but a powerful illusion.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Perpetuated by a system of power and control. So
Yes.
let's see.
Wait. Keep that there. I like it. knowing the features of this government manufactured lie is half the battle.
Mhm.
I like
And then
that
there's
too.
a clip of Howard kind of explaining that people could go to. Okay, so now we're here. So
See, this is the perfect example of what I said at the very beginning of this meeting, how we write a bunch of sentences, we take the one from below and put it at the top.
Yeah.
This is exactly how that works, because now the first sentence that said a set of common threads actually makes sense following this, because it's not disconnected anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And James dropped a resource on cult psychology into the chat. So you'll have that to check out.
Thank you, James.
The chat is so cool.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, this is an awesome group.
Like, I don't even know I'm teaching it. I'm supposed to be the student, I think.
So Phoenix is saying, instead of saying is nothing but, he says right only. Is only a powerful.
Yeah,
that
works.
Okay.
And we have only at the oh no, we had just at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Actually, I think I like nothing but I think that's
I know I don't like
like
this
drama.
word. I don't know if that's because there's too many vowels at the beginning of words there. Something about it is bothering me, that word right there.
Only or what?
Only, yeah, was bothering me for some reason.
I think for me, and that could be because numerology, I'm a 5, I like nothing but, because it's so like Shakespearean. It's like, it is nothing but this one thing, you know?
Nice.
And it's just like really powerful. Versus only, only is, yeah, it is only, but
it's alone,
that's not a
alone.
theatrical.
Yeah.
Signifying nothing.
Yeah, like it, yeah, it has a better tempo to it, Phoenix. Yeah. Yeah. Culture, as it turns out, is nothing but a powerful illusion perpetuated by a system of power and control. Knowing the features of this government manufactured lie is half the battle. Set of common threads runs through all of history's most authoritative governments. Okay, so I don't know, something about that sentence that I just read just kind of bogs me down.
It's because it's not flowing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't, unless we rephrase it.
What if it said a set of common threads that runs through all of history's most authoritative governments is monopolized media, carefully curated social pressures, and cradle to grave with occupation.
There we go.
Or combine that idea with Agnieszka's, where we start with monopolized media, carefully curated social pressure. This then, boom, boom, boom,
is
are
a
the
set of common threads. Yeah, that's totally what I would do. See, you don't need me anymore.
It was literally your idea. They include monopolized media, carefully curated social pressure. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Take that out. Yeah. Common threads that run. Nice.
Yeah, that's much more powerful.
There we go. That
That
beautifully
run
sets
or
that.
running-
Feel it. What?
That run or running, common threads running through.
Yeah.
Could be either one.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I like running because it brings it to the present, like the other sentence.
It's active. Mm-hmm.
It also implies that it hasn't stopped and it's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what that's what I mean, kind of by bringing it to the present.
How about weaving through? Since they're common threads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or weaved throughout.
Weaving through or weaved throughout. I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although Hemingway would slap you guys because you just made it more complex.
Yeah. All right. I think the audience can handle it.
The
So
audience
I had
can
this
handle
thought.
it. Yes.
So I had this thought because I agree that I think the 5 ways government is a cult or like a cult. it's nice having it nice and compact, but you could still now at this point, when we start leading into those 5 pieces, the sentence could be, here are 5 classic textbook cult techniques that government uses to control you. So we can still use,
or just
his
do
phrase.
AKA, or just do AKA. Weaved or
AKA.
woven. You're right. Maybe weaved, woven. Oh my God, now I'm a foreigner. I don't know. Is it weaved or woven?
I think it would be woven.
I think woven, yeah.
And we're back to it not being like present tense. It's past. It's like it infers like past tense.
It's like present perfect or something. I don't know. Okay. So,
As though it's not going on anymore, you know?
Right,
they
right.
are woven. It has been done. And
Yeah,
they're there.
that's a good point, Phoenix. Weaving throughout.
Weaving, and maybe weaving is more present.
But then it's talking about history governments instead of the government today. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been looking at that word history as well. Going, do I really? But it is, but you know, they need to understand that like before and now, before and now.
So of all time, maybe?
Or I mean, even just throughout all of the most authoritarian, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Throughout the most authoritative governments of all time.
Of the past and present.
Uh-huh. Ever.
All times. Since the history of the world. Since Adam and Eve.
Since Adam and Eve, have you
Since
ever?
the world was on the back of a turtle.
Okay. Let's see. Monopolize media, carefully curated social pressure. Indoctrination. The common threads weaving throughout all of the most authoritative governments.
I think even like adding a comma, and like Agnieszka said, past and present could be a good like final piece onto that.
What do you guys think of carefully created social engineering? Is that getting too complex?
No, I think that's more accurate. What do you guys think?
It's just, yeah, it's fine. This audience is a very intellectual audience.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, if they're at all getting introduced to how it's work, I mean, they're getting like a red pill punch to the face no matter what. So I think it's good for us to not really hold back the punches on this. Like we want to, I mean, ease him into it in a way, but I mean, we have to get into it fast because his content like hits you really hard. So I think this is, yeah, I think we're right on track.
Can we say,
if you're okay with the punch, if you're okay with the punch in the face, then maybe you could simplify by getting rid of the most authoritative and just saying common threads weaving throughout all governments.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And one thing you'll get into too is he'll probably request to have every time that you say the word government to put it in quotation marks. That's the edit that he gives through like all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Something to think about.
So I guess even here,
maybe.
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it out. If you can play.
Yeah, maybe that one I think can stay.
The 5.
I want to see. I want to see.
Control you, yes, Chris.
I want to see 5 ways government is like a cult, aka the 5 classic textbook cult techniques government uses to control you.
5 classic cult techniques. Oh, just take out textbook. Uses. Employs. Implements.
Okay. Yeah. But like AKA or instead of?
Oh no, that's gonna be what it's called now.
Okay.
And then at the bottom, then there's 5 things you can do about it, which hasn't gotten much attention yet, but
And that's fine, because I think a lot of stuff in there we'll be able to take probably some visuals from the book. I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that we can take directly from there and just kind of give them some snippets.
yeah, there's,
Wouldn't step 1 be read the fucking book? 5 things you can do about it.
so
Wouldn't
should I,
step
that's
1
what
be-
step 2 is buy this bulk buy this book.
Yeah, but they haven't even read the book yet. How can they bulk buy it? Like, why would you bulk buy something you haven't even tried?
So let's do that as 1.
Yep. Exchange 1 and 2.
Okay.
What about read the book and then engage in guerrilla marketing?
Mm-hmm. Do you think that reading the book and then engaging in guerrilla marketing should be 2 separate steps?
Yeah, actually that helps with something later on too. Yeah.
Because then the read the book section is an opportunity for you to mention how it's laid out in this visual format, kind of showcasing a little bit of the value of the book itself.
Okay, so there's that. And then that actually helps with something else, because I wanted it to be 5 things, but I felt like I was stretching it in terms of number 4, free yourself can have this financial freedom information in it.
Cool.
Very good.
Ross
Thanks,
Ulbricht.
Phoenix. Talk to you later.
Ulbricht is an I instead of an E in number 4.
Oh, I copied that right from the book, I think.
And there's
sure
no
that
T.
Howard knows
I
that.
think there's no T in Ulbricht, isn't there? Or is there?
No, the T is there.
Yeah.
Well, this is
Oh, no,
awesome,
it's an I
Stephanie.
in the book. Okay. Thank you so much for your guys' help.
Thanks for bringing it. And this is
By the way,
awesome.
Stephanie, if you want to put a break between the bullets, shift enter will give you a line without like
Oh,
skipping your
cool.
bullets.
Love shift enter. I just hadn't thought of using it there. Nice.
But
But they're going to do the layout. I'm just doing the copy, but yeah.
Just for you to look at it, you know.
Yes, that helps.
Nice. This is really turning out awesome. I think Howard's going to be really pleased.
Good. Okay. Yep. I think I've got it from here. And there's a lot of images from the book that I'm hoping a lot of them can fit on the 1-pager. Yeah. There's so much awesome stuff that, yeah.
Well, and it might end up being a 2-pager, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Good. Because 1 page is hard for me.
Everything will become bigger than it is initially.
Yeah.
Because he likes words.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much. This feels way better. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're right on time for the clinic.
This is perfect. Yeah. Dude, thanks so much for everybody who showed up today and like all your contributions. This has been like a really amazing couple hours, and I'm excited to have this clinic going again. I think we're probably
and I
going
think
to
you should publish the chat.
Oh, I'm going to
like as a link, because there's some really good copy in that chat.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
There's stuff in there for Lawrence, there's stuff for James, there's stuff for Stephanie. There's a lot of really great stuff in there.
Just general good stuff too.
Just general good stuff. Fabulous. All right. Well, I will, I'll get this, uploaded and published somewhere today. I have a lot of stuff going on this afternoon, so it might be tomorrow, but we'll all get the replay and the chats, and I'll probably send even the chat file directly to those that were looking for feedback, to make sure that you get it directly. But then this will all get published so we can all check it out. This is so much fun. I think we're going to start off monthly, or do we want to just try maybe monthly for now and maybe do more if we want to pick up the momentum?
I'm good. It was super nice meeting everybody.
This is great. All right,
Thank you.
everyone.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, I'm really glad you all could join.
I got a ghost finished.
You do. That's awesome.
All right,
Enjoy
everybody.
ironing, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.